Hello students, today we are going to see history lesson 4, the creation of an empire. The creation of an empire means creating a new empire is called as creation of an empire. Let's start with describe the growth of Mughal empire, the relationships between Mughals and other rulers, describe an evaluation of Akbar, administrative system by Mughals. So how the Mughals started to grow in India, how was the relationship between Mughals and other rulers, and how the rulers were evolved, then the administration of their Mughals. These are the things we are going to see in this lesson. The next is creation of an empire. What is creation? Creation means making something new. So here creating an empire, by how we are creating an empire means with a political construction we are creating an empire. Political construction means there will be a proper rules and regulations. There will be a proper legal activities. Everything will be in a principal manner. So this is called as political construction. Empire means a vast area of region controlled by one state, and other states will be a domain states. That means a minority states. One state will be the major state. So the empire is ruled by an emperor. He will be the captain of the empire. So during the empire, the economic opportunities were very well developed and the trade also was very good. So one area to another area, they made trades everything, and they gave importance to culture, art and architecture. Many new buildings, many new culture of arts, everything got developed during the Mughal empire. So these are the things make a complete empire. So for your understanding, I have given an example as train travel. Have you all traveled in train? You all like to travel in train. I know that. I too like to travel in train. On traveling train, we can easily understand this concept also. For example, if Babur is the first traveler in the Empire Express, he started his journey from Central Asia. Then he came to Haryana. There he got a level crossing called Battle of Panipat. He fought there and he won the war. Next he went to Rajasthan. There too he faced a level crossing called Battle of Kanwa. There too he got success, but after that he passed away because of his age. Then his son Humayun started the travel from Bihar. There he fought a war called Battle of Chauza. But in the battle he got defeated by Sher Khan. But he didn't fed up and he tried the next war, Kannauj, Battle of Kannauj in Uttar Pradesh. In that too he got failure. So Sher Khan Shuri made Humayun to get away from Indian territory. So he went out and he stayed in Kabul, which is in Afghanistan. Then Sher Khan Shuri started the travel. Sher Khan's real name is Sher Shah Shuri. Sher Khan is a reward name for Sher Shah. He started his journey from Madhya Pradesh. There he fought a war with Rajputs and he got won. Then after, because of an accident, he passed away. So on hearing his news, Humayun returned again to India to rule the Mughal Empire. So this is the Empire Express. So first Babur, then Humayun, then Sher Shah Shuri, then again Humayun. In the first part, we are going to see the rulers Babur, Humayun, Sher Shah Shuri and Humayun. The Mughals. Mughals were descendant of Turkey-Mongol conqueror Taimur and Chengiz Khan. Yes, the ancestors of Mughals were Taimur and Chengiz Khan. Chengiz Khan belongs to Mongolia. So it is located between Russia and China. And Taimur belongs to Central Asia. Now it is Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, the place where there. So Babur became the first Mughal empire. He became a ruler of Fargana in Central Asia at age of 12. He conquered Kabul in 1504 CE, turned his attention towards India. At the age of 12 itself, he ascended the throne of Fargana. After becoming a ruler, he first conquered Kabul in 1504. Then after that, he turned his attention towards India. So Taimur and Chengiz Khan, have a look at them. Let's see about Babur's empire and some facts about Babur. Babur's name was Zagiruddin Muhammad Babur. The name Babur refers to tiger. In the language of Persian, Babur means tiger. For his braveness and his strength, he was rewarded a name as Babur with the meaning of tiger. He was eldest son of Umar Sheikh Miraz. Father of Babur is Umar Sheikh Miraz. He is the direct descendant of Taimur. So he belongs to Taimur dynasty and Babur's mother belongs to Genghis Khan dynasty. So they both together is called as Mughal Empire. As I said earlier, he became ruler of Fergana at the age of 12. But he didn't stop there. He fought a war and he conquered Kabul, which is the important place called as Citadel. Citadel means the place where all the women and children get a shelter during the battle time. It's called a Citadel, which is situated in Central Asia. So he became a ruler in Kabul at the age of 12. Babur had a very strong physical fit. He can carry two soldiers on two of his shoulders and he can climb the slope. Such a strong person Babur was. And he was a good swimmer. He swam across major rivers, especially twice he have crossed the Ganges river, which is known as the largest, longest river now. And at the time means it will be so long than now too. So he crossed that also. Even now too, Babur is considered as hero in Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, which is the Central Asia at that time. Now it is called as Uzbekistan. He is considered as national hero. His autobiography is known as Baburnama. You might have learned in the lesson 1, Baburnama, which is written in Turki language. Then it has been translated to Persian language by Babur's grandson Akbar. He translated that to Persian language. The first battle of Panipat. The first battle of Panipat held at 1526 CE made an end to Delhi Sultanate. What happened? Babur became the ruler of Fergana, then he came and conquered Kabul, then he turned his attention towards India. So there what happened? He fought with sultanates. At the time of period, Delhi was in the hand of Ibrahim Lodi, the Sultan, but he didn't have a proper relationship between the nobles of their dynasty. So what happened? One of his uncle called Daulat Khan Lodi, he invited Babur to conquer Delhi. So because of this reason only, first battle of Panipat held. We'll see about what are the things happened in the first battle of Panipat one by one. Babur had a proper flag, proper symbol. So you can see from the picture. And here in the map, the orange place represents Kabul, which was first conquered by Babur. So for your reference, I have added this. Next is Battle of Panipat. So Ibrahim Lodi was the ruler at that time. He marched towards Delhi. But Babur's army was so small than Lodi's army. But Babur used more and more strategies such as gunpowders, artillery, guns, army, formation, everything he used. Artillery means a big sized firing equipment and gunpowder means the firing powder. He used those things. And the cannon balls means which is used to shot from artillery. It is weight about nearly 315 pounds. In kgs, it is nearly 100 pounds. Okay, 142 like that it will be. And in smaller size also it's available. So that cannonball is made of iron. So that if they shot, they will hit the soldier and whole soldier will die. So this is the working of cannonball. Babur had a very less amount of soldiers compared to Lodi. But what happened? He used many innovative weapons, new things. So it affected the battle. Lodi got defeated by that and he got killed within 3 hours from the battle. Then within few days, Babur enabled Delhi and he became the ruler. So success behind Babur. Ibrahim was not diplomatic. Diplomatic means he is not good ruler, and his relationship between other rulers and his nobles was not good. Ibrahim Lodi didn't satisfy his soldiers. He didn't give proper food. He didn't give proper salary to the soldiers. So soldiers got affected because of that. And Babur's army was strong. Since number is smaller, but the army is strong. You can see the picture. A man is standing along with artillery. This is artillery. In this only they will fill the cannon ball and they will shot. So have a look at this also. It will give a clear idea about the weapons. After the success of Panipat battle, Babur started his progress to expand the empire. So he fought with Rana Sanga, the ruler of Mewar, in the area called Kanwa. So that is named as Battle of Kanwa. Then again he travelled to east part of India and he fought with Afghans at the Battle of Gagra in the year 1529 to expand his empire throughout the India. We will see about Rana Sanga. He is Rana Sanga, the ruler of Mewar. He is a Rajput and his army. Babur met Rana Sanga army in the place called Kanwa. So both of them were Rana Sanga and Babur both had ambition to conquer the whole India. So both of them want to the supreme power. So this is the reason for the causes of Battle of Kanwa. And they both had a friendship that was not faithful. So this is also another reason for the Battle of Kanwa. On the day of war, what happened? Babur arranged his army as Panipat. How he made the victory in Panipat, he followed the same method. But Rana Sanga too got help from Rajputs and Afghans. So he got a huge army. So Rana Sanga was so happy for that, but he didn't use some strategies as Babur used. He didn't use more strategies. What Rana Sanga thought, he underestimated Babur's army because he had Afghan and Rajputs with him. So what he thought, we have two armies, so we will be the winner, like that he thought. But Babur used many new strategies, weapons. So he got defeated. And this became as a holy war. That means the war between Muslims and Hindus, like that it became. Babur used many different formations and he consolidated his army. Formations means vyuha. They'll form some vyuhas like chakra, vajra, like that, so that they can't be defeated. And consolidation, that means the unity of the army. Then he used many new artilleries and gunpowders, those things. And Babur's army was a well-disciplined army. So these are the causes: victory of Babur and defeat of Rana Sanga. These are the weapons Babur used. So sword, a gun. See the length of the gun, how it long. So these are the weapons used by Babur. So these are the cannon balls. It weighs nearly 100 kg and smaller size also available. What they'll do is they'll take this ball and they'll insert into the artillery and they'll shot that. So this is the cannon ball. This is made of iron, brass, like metal. The next thing is formations. Chakra formation and Trishula formation, like that different formations are there. So that what will happen, the opposite party army could not interfere into the other people's army. So this is formations. Then after that, Babur met the battle Gagra with Afghans and he got victory. In the battle too, he got victory. With whom he fought? He fought with Muhammad Lodi, who was the brother of Ibrahim Lodi, where the Panipat war held. He is Ibrahim Lodi. His brother Muhammad Lodi fought this battle with Babur. But he too got defeated by Babur and he ran away from the battlefield. So this made Babur to extend his empire. So after that, Babur has passed away because of his age factor. Then after that, Humayun, his son, ascended the throne of kingdom. And he got opposition by Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. Everyone gets opposition. Every rural will get opposition. Like that, he too got opposition by Bahadur Shah. But he fought with him and he got won. So he got control over Gujarat and Malwa. Then after that, Sher Khan Shuri. He fought with Humayun twice, but Humayun got defeated in the twice. First he fought, then after that what happened? Humayun defeated, then again he got his help from brother. Second time also he got defeated by Sher Khan. So Sher Khan was a very good skilled administrator. So let's see about Sher Khan Suri. Sher Shah Suri is his real name. Sher Khan means Lord, Lion Lord. Because of his strength and power, he was rewarded with the name Sher Khan, which means Lion Lord. He ruled for 5 years. His empire was very strong and he also was a very good skilled administrator. He did many achievements and he introduced new methods. He introduced Sadaki Azam, which means the trunk road, Grand Trunk Road. He laid a road from Bengal to Afghanistan. You can see in the map. He built Zairis, that means the staying place for the travelers. The roadside travelers will stay in the Saris. Currency system was introduced by him. Mohur means the gold coin, Rupaya means the silver coin, and Dam means the copper coin. You can see the picture. Mohur, Rupaya and copper. These are the coins introduced by Sher Khan. These coins had a special feature. It will be made by printing. They'll print that and they'll stamping method was introduced. So after that, Sher Khan Suri went for another one battle. There what happened? He met an accident and he passed away. So on hearing his death news, Humayun again came back and he started ruling the Mughal Empire. For just 1 year he ruled and after that he also passed away in an accident. So let's sum up here. What are the things we learned? We learned about creation of empire, arrival of Mughals and rise of Mughal Empire, battles of Mughals. What are the different battles they faced, how they developed the empire, who all came and ascended the throne and how they created an empire. These are the things we learned from this lesson. This checkout section is to self-analyze. Analyze yourself, answer for these questions and analyze yourself. When did first battle of Panipat held? What are the strategies followed by Babur? What was the cause of Lodi's defeat? Achievements of Sher Shah. Name the currency system of Sher Shah. Analyze yourself and check it out the answers. Here I wind up the session. In the next session we learn about the remaining rulers. Thank you.